All right, ladies and gentlemen, UFC fans all over the world. Jon Jones, the greatest fighter of all time, potentially, possibly. The guy that retired recently, about 2 weeks ago, because he didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall, because he'd been there, done it, he's living his best life, he's got nothing more to prove. He walked away from the sport, essentially undefeated. He has been retired for 2 weeks, maybe less than that. That gets a bit blurry depending on what the timeline is. But according to Twitter, apparently, according to Twitter, his Twitter, not general hearsay, Jon Jones has unretired. That is correct. He says that he is now back in the testing pool. Check this out. So, of course, the UFC shares this, and this is very nice of the UFC. Jon Bones Jones, the greatest of all time. And he just might be, we'll get to that after. There's others, Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, Habib Nurmagomedov. The list goes on. Ilia Topuria, right? So he shares that. Okay, great. Of course, why not? I'd share that as well. I'd retweet it. And then this, fighting at the White House. That piqued his curiosity. You might have saw Donald Trump is saying that they're going to do a fight at the White House next year with 25,000 people. And I did a video on that, and I was like, you know what? Maybe that would be the fight for Jon Jones to come out of retirement. And then the very next tweet, there it is, just re-entered the testing pool. And at the time of me doing this, 4th of July, just about to start the barbecue, about to have a few beers, 37 minutes ago. Just re-entered the testing pool. That lasted for about 2 weeks. Figured we'd keep everyone's options open. Now, we'll have a look at the comments on that in just a second. I don't know what to think of this. I don't know if Jon's having a laugh, if he's being silly, if he's just taking the piss, or if he's actually serious. I mean, what has changed in 2 weeks' time? Of course, Trump talking about a fight at the White House.
We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this on the grounds of the White House.
Yeah, okay, maybe maybe that's it. I don't think it is that. I do think that he would want to fight at the White House, and I'm sure that every single fighter is going to want to do that. A lot of them are raising their hands. Conor McGregor's put his hand up. Michael Chandler's interested. Sean Strickland's definitely going to want to be there. Mr. 1776 himself.
That's like a gun store.
Yeah, and then fucking I got here again. So I put this.
How do you got one on us?
That's the seagull I showed you last night. I picked this. See this.
And Jon Jones, of course, him versus Tom Aspinall, England versus USA, 1776, all over again at the White House. Unbelievable. Of course, that should be top of the bill, right? But is that really what's going on? Is it just the fact that they're going to do a fight at the White House, or has something else changed? The fact that he's re-entered the testing pool means he's not messing around, okay? Now, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Twitter responses, because you never know, maybe there's a bit of bullshit going on here. I'm finding this out just as you are if you're seeing this for the first time. Guess who will be waiting for you if you decide to come back. Hello, John. Of course, there's Tom Aspinall. Sir, this event is for real fighters. See, that's what we're talking about. The legacy will be a little bit tainted because everyone thinks that he was avoiding Jon Jones, and Jon in the White House only makes sense. No other American champions right now. Well, that is a good point. I talked about that in the other video as well. There isn't any American champions right now other than Jon Jones. Well, Jon Jones is retired. Tom Aspinall is the undisputed champion. And Tom Aspinall, to be honest, is absolutely sick of all this shit. He's just happy that everything has now moved on. Tom Aspinall has a new opponent and a location. Apparently, it's going to get announced soon.
Like, the guy I'm fighting next is the most dangerous guy that I'm ever going to have to fight.
Got to think that's Cyril Gane. God knows where it's going to be. More than likely, Las Vegas, somewhere in America anyway. It ain't going to be in France. It ain't going to be in the UK. Tom's last pay-per-view was in the UK in the middle of the night. It's going to be in America on prime time. That's for damn sure. Probably Cyril Gane. Now, the big question is why is he doing this? If we take it at face value and we say that Jon Jones is serious, okay? What has changed? I don't think that in 2 weeks' time, all the fan backlash, because there's a lot of people that support him, and of course he just shared a post from the UFC, and there's a lot of people in, old school fans that still very, very much support Jon Jones and still look at his legacy as the person that was one of the greatest to ever do it. That's without a shadow of a doubt, that beat generations of champions. But there's a lot of people that are talking shit. I don't think it's people talking shit online that's going to influence him to come out of retirement in 2 weeks. I think maybe he went out to Thailand, he was enjoying himself, he got carried away with things, and maybe some people were in his ear. I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe people were saying, listen, you don't need this anymore. You've been there, done it. You've got the t-shirt. And he's out there and he's in Thailand and he's just having the time of his life. And he's like, you know what? I don't need this. Because the reality of the matter is, he doesn't need fighting. Jon Jones has made way more out of fighting than I ever did. A lot of fighters out there have made more money than me. But I did pretty good, and I live a good life. And when I was fighting, I never realized that there could be a life outside of fighting, after fighting. And maybe Jon Jones was talking about that. People were getting in his ear and just painting this beautiful life and telling him about all the money he's got and the money that he's going to have coming in from the lawsuit. And of course, he had the trouble with the lady in the car that was half naked from the waist down and potentially running down a leg or whatever. We don't know. She had a bathroom emergency or something sexual. We don't know. We talked about that at the time, right? All that stuff going on, all the distractions, being out in Thailand, maybe partying, waking up hungover and thought, you know what? I can't deal with a fucking fight camp, right?
Are you intoxicated?
But he's come back. Maybe he's got on the straight and narrow. He has been going a bit berserk on Twitter lately, but maybe he's come back. He's got on the straight and narrow. He's got his shit together. He's thinking straight and clean. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, I've got a bunch of money coming in from this lawsuit, but I am leaving a lot of money on the table. And of course, maybe now because Jon has got a new opponent, right? There's going to be more footage on him. There's going to be more tape to study. There's going to be a potential for Tom to get beat, for him to have more miles on the clock, and he can come out and fight the winner. And potentially that be at the White House. I think it'd be very short-sighted if it was just him fighting at the White House. I don't think that's enough. Given how he speaks about his career and how much he treasures it, I don't think a location, all jokes aside, I don't think a location like the White House or anywhere on planet Earth is going to be enough to influence his decision. I think it's something much deeper. I think it's him just kind of realizing and coming back and being around his team and thinking, you know what? I have still got something to give. I have still got something to prove to the world. I have still got to show Tom Aspinall that I can beat him. And he's not just going to show Tom, he's going to show the entire MMA community, fan base, UFC, MMA, fight fans all over the world. Because it does look like you walked away and ducked Tom Aspinall. It's as simple as that. That is what most people are thinking. Yeah, there's a lot of people giving him the benefit of the doubt, but there's a lot of people thinking he avoided the first true test at heavyweight. Somebody with well-rounded skills, with knockout power, that is younger, that is bigger, that is faster, that is agile, that can wrestle and knows jiu-jitsu, that can do it all. The first time you came up against somebody like that, you walked away from the sport. That's not a good look. And maybe that is what has been eating away at him inside ever since he told the UFC, I'm going to walk away. Now, it is a quick U-turn. This must be one of the shortest retirements in the history of the UFC, okay? Or in all combat sports. 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, he retired. You've got to confirm, by the way, that you want to get taken out of the testing pool. When I was fighting and I retired, Hunter Campbell called me and he said, are you sure you want to leave the testing pool? And I said, yes, take me out of the testing pool because that protects me against myself. Because if somebody gets injured and there's a chance for a short notice replacement, I know me. I'll go, I'll do it. I'll fight. I'll jump in short notice, get another payday. I said, by taking me out of the testing pool, that eliminates that threat from me. So Jones has gone out of the testing pool and now he's saying that he's entered it. Now, do we believe him? Do we take it at face value? Is he talking out of his ass? We don't know. We don't know. Maybe he's having fun. Maybe he's messing with Tom. Maybe he's drunk. Maybe he's having a few beers on the 4th of July. Maybe he's sitting there with his boys at a barbecue right now, laughing his ass off at every dickhead like me sitting here and doing a video, okay? Or maybe he's serious. Maybe it's real. Maybe he is going to come back. Maybe he will potentially man up and fight Tom Aspinall. What do you think it is? Let me know in the comment section, please. What do you make of this whole situation? And do you think this is motivated by Tom Aspinall? Do you think it's motivated by the White House? Or do you think that Jon Jones is sitting there laughing his ass off? Let me know. Subscribe, ring the bell. Thanks for watching. See you soon.